Welcome to The Good Ride, and thanks for being here all these years. Today I'm talking about the Weston Dream Machine. It replaced the Range, and I'm going to talk about it today. This is a board that leans on that directional twin side, doesn't have a lot of setback on board, has a lot of effective edge, so it's not a great board in powder, but man, this just jams on groomers. And I have such a fun time turning on this. And while it's not a very versatile one board quiver, you can do better out there with other brands. This just lights it up on groomers, and if you have a good powder board, it might be a fun board to add to your quiver. Now, I rode this primarily with my Union Force and Nitro Team boots. Now, I've gotten this in a decent amount of conditions and a lot more with the old Range, but didn't update the review. I'm just so damn behind. I've gotten this in everything from a decent amount of powder to some pretty firm but fair and fun groomers and a little bit of everything in between. And as you know, this is an honest, objective review for you, not for the brand. And I can do that thanks to our sponsor, Blower Board Shop. They're a family-run business that's been selling to snowboarders for decades upon decades now. They've got a large online presence, fast shipping, excellent customer support, and very competitive prices. So if you want to support objective, honest content like this and a great shop, click through our links to Blower Board Shops, and it looks like it's right for you, buy something. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's talk sizing. This 58 felt really good for me, especially if I was going to get this as a one board quiver. Let's talk shape. This is a directional twin with a little longer nose than the tail, so you're pretty much riding centered almost all the time and slightly off center if you set it all the way back. When it comes to the camber profile, you have a mellow camber underfoot that goes well past the inserts and then has a mellow transition up into some early rise. There's a really long, effective edge of 122 centimeters, which is longer than most 158s that are shaped like this. So there's not a lot of nose and tail. And while that doesn't represent how much contact there is on snow, and that's unpublished, you feel that effective edge and you feel extra contact on snow for its length. Therefore, it's best for advanced to expert riders because it does feel a little more catchy than some hybrid camber boards of a similar design. Then combined with that stiffer flex, it's not as easy to turn. Committed intermediates who know they're going to take some lumps, maybe even accumulate a hospital bill or two, could commit to this, especially if they don't want to buy a better board down the line. But this is best for advanced expert riders, and it's still a lot more forgiving than full-on old-school camber like I learned on. When it comes to edge hold, there's a multi-radius side cut that allows better purchase than a regular side cut, and it gripped pretty well on firm snow. I had such a good time on firm but fun groomers where some boards weren't gripping, but this one was, and it was really fun. If it's really hard, you do have to dial back your turns a little bit, but overall, it's got pretty competent grip. Let's talk Dream Machine flex here. It is a medium flex pretty much throughout. It's a little softer where the camber ends and the rocker begins, transitioning into the nose and tail, but it's not that easy to engage that flex. And the nose seems to be almost the same as the tail. It's a touch longer, so it has just a little bit easier flex, but has that same transition. And most of the stiffness is in this camber region here. And while it's not as easy to access this pop on snow, it does pop when you work hard for it. Let's continue this flex personality discussion on the table. It's very composed and damp in all kinds of conditions, and it never gets too bucky, too bouncy, too chattery in all kinds of uneven snow. And I really like how it handles all conditions really well. It's a little work to butter in the nose and tail, but it's not bad. And when you try to engage this on an ollie, I thought it popped well, but it's not really easy to access this at slower speeds. You have to be picking up a little speed for this board to come alive and to engage that carbon underneath the top sheet and get it to pop. And this can hit any sized kicker you want. And while it doesn't have the best pop at slower speeds, this tracked really well into smaller side hits, launched off them somewhat well and landed very well. So not bad for little side hits around the mountain, but best for jumps of all sizes in the park. The bigger you go, the better actually. For pipe, not quite my board. And for jibs, you can do better for sure. Maybe check out the Logger or other jib boards from other brands that are more park focused. Now, when it comes to turning, this initiated a turn pretty quick for a 158, especially for my size 9 boots. I think if you were like a 9.5, 10, this would just be perfect. It would be medium fast, but as it stands now, I never felt really wanting in terms of turn initiation, even as the conditions got worse over the day. This is the kind of board I don't like to ride in the trees though. I like a setback directional feeling, and I don't like a lot of tail behind me, and this has that. So while it does do okay in trees for what it is, it's not the kind of board you want if you like that easy turning, no tail feel in the trees. Now the spring out of the turn is good. It's not great, but it keeps getting better the faster you go. And I'm not really like a fast riding snowboarder, but the more speed I picked up in those clean, fun, early spring conditions I rode this on and the range previously, this just lit up. It was so fun, and I loved this turning experience. I loved the spring out of the turn. Now, when you look at this side cut, it has a 7.7 entry going to 7.85 in the middle, and then back out to a 7.7 exit. You combine that with the long effective edge, it doesn't feel as balanced as you would think. It's not terribly turny. It's not the best for circle carves, not the best for across the groomer carves. It really lights up with medium radius to down the line, even short straight lines. It shows that this is a great board for going off big kickers in the park because it points it so well. Many side cuts that start at 7.7 usually don't feel as straight line friendly as this. Then on top of that, you have a pretty damp overall construction, so it can handle chatter really well for this flex. This is no Ganarnia, no free ride bomber, but it's a standout in the all mountain to mountain freestyle category for sure. When it comes to base glide, this has very easy glide. Don't let the name Centered 4401 or whatever the hell it's called fool you. This is in the upper tier of base glide. It's up close to the fastest of the fast. Not quite there with them, but very good. It's hard. It's durable, it has excellent wax retention and very, very good glide. Never a fan of the die cuts though, you know that already. Hard to repair, but gosh, I don't even feel it. And if you gash here, all you need is black P-Tex and a lighter. So overall, the Dream Machine, in some conditions, it just absolutely lit up my day and I came home glowing. But then if you wanted to ride this in a powder day, there are a lot of better all mountain boards that I've ridden that have a much better setback on board with a similar shape that perform a lot better there. But for a more centered approach to the mountain, and let's say you have a backwoods or a Japao for those deep days, this would be a great choice.